Let's get it. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, and welcome back to another exciting segment of me do my live streams here this week. We're gonna start off this morning, Monday morning, with the late night show with Breakfast with Dr. Kojo. And we'll follow it up on Tuesday with the late night show. I'm already fumbling my words. But my name is Kojo Sarfra. I'm your host. We're checking in from what looks to be a very sunny day here in Los Angeles, California. So I'm excited to get to it. And I can't wait to interact with you all. I am a little bit late. I thought my voice would go down a little bit, but I guess it is what it is. I've been watching too much football this weekend. But let's go ahead and use the comment section to let me know where you're checking in from, and then let's go ahead and get into it. Latoya, morning. How you doing? I like that profile picture. It's super dope. Abraham, what's going on, Abraham? How you doing, my guy? April, get to it a little bit later. Top of the AM, top of the morning. Mark, what's going on? We got Teresa checking in from Utah. We got Jasleen checking in from Brooklyn. Jacqueline from Missouri. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Nicole from Odessa, Texas. Michelle from Minneapolis. Maven from Alaska. Emily Ann checking in from Michigan. We got Heidi checking in from Vancouver. I love it when folks come from out of the country. And as I say that, we have Beth checking in from British Columbia, Canada. New York. I love New York. Fallon checking in from New Jersey. What's going on? We got Lanisa checking in from LinkedIn. I always love to see people checking in from LinkedIn. What's going on? Felicia, Southern Illinois. Selena, Massachusetts. River, I'm absolutely stuck, and I've been this way since the holidays. Well, River, I'm going to do my best to get you out of this funk, right? We have to do our best to take things one at a time. And if you feel like you're overwhelmed, then you may not be able to enjoy the present. And you're going to keep thinking, I'm behind. So we have to take this one thing at a time. Good morning, Ashley. Good morning. Maria from Philly. Congrats on the NFC championship game appearance, by the way. I saw what the Eagles did. Julie from Indy. Katrina from Tulsa, Melanie from Alabama, Dalton from Kansas, April from Oklahoma. People shame me for being late. They do, and I have a video about this coming out very soon. Murray. Erica from Baltimore and Superfunk. Erica, I got you. River from Portland. Marcia, Chicago, England, Mississippi, Cincy. Congrats on the Bengals. Congrats as well. Nicole, what's up, Nicole? I can feel you blushing through the phone screen. Caitlin, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the support for the book. And Jenny, thank you so much as well. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Right. So, if you're in a funk, all right. So I have 3 things to help you get out of a funk. And the worst part about being in a funk to start off is the fact that you sometimes feel like you can't get out of it, right? So there's this sense of helplessness, right? So you just kind of accept that, oh, I'm depressed right now, or I'm in a funk right now, or I can't change my situation, or there's nothing I can do. I just have to ride it out. And sometimes we do have to just ride things out, but I don't think that it's that bad to where we just have to ride things out. We can, take control of our situation, and we can do things one at a time, right? But before I get into the 3 tips, I haven't talked this morning. Before I get to the 3 tips, we have to understand that you can't get it all back in one day, right? So what I used to do, whenever I would take a break from the gym, I would get back in the gym after like a month and a half or 2 months. And what I would do is I would go in there and I would try and run like 5 miles and then lift like 225 on the bench. And then my brother was like, what are you doing? You've been out of the gym for 2 months. You can't just get back and do what you used to do, right? So if you're in a funk right now, I think somebody said they're in a funk because it's been rough for them since the holidays. You can't try and go back to doing what you're doing in November, right? Because in November, you were working fast. And this is before Thanksgiving, before Christmas, before the New Year's. So you may have had more energy. But right now it's January. Some of us have the January blues. We're not as productive as we were a couple of weeks ago. And that's fine, right? This is not a race. It's not a beauty contest to see who can work the most and look the best afterwards, right? So we have to figure out what we have to do for ourselves, right? And we're going to take it one thing at a time. Leilani, what's going on? Thank you so much. Yeah, look, Look, I've been washing my hands. I got some hand soap. I no longer put my hands in my eyes. The way my face looked like on Monday morning was no, Tuesday morning was scary. And I think Wednesday is when I got the notification that I was going to New York to be on the Today Show. And then I'm sitting there with my eyes all puffed up. I'm like, please, Jesus, please, like, I gotta feel better. I was using ice, I was using Benadryl, but luckily my face, luckily we're on the right track. All right. Marie says, I've been in the funk since 2020. All right. Well, Marie, a lot of us have been in a funk since 2020, right? But I'm here to tell you that we have good news, right? You can get out of this funk, but don't worry about comparing yourself to Marie before 2020, right? This is a new Marie. It's 2023. And once you appreciate what you're able to do now, it's going to give you momentum, and you're going to take it from where you are now until the next version of yourself that you envision, right? All right, so here's number actually, Teresa, real quick. So quick tip for seasonal depression, because I have ADHD, I'm allowed to get off topic and get back on topic, right? I love Utah, by the way. One thing you can do for seasonal depression is to put yourself in areas where you can have light, right? So if you have seasonal depression, right now it's 8:44 here in California, so it's either 8 or 9 in Utah, right? So I don't know if you're at work right now, but if you could take a break from the office, right? If you're watching this on your phone, if you can go outside and just get some sunlight, right? Get some sunlight is gonna make you feel a lot better. Go for a small walk, or maybe have like a little lamp. I got a lamp here. I can't bring it to the screen, but have a lamp around you, right? Light therapy can be helpful for those who are living with seasonal depression. So, thank you for allowing me to get off topic and get back on topic. Good question, by the way. All right. Oh, I'm home in bed. All right. Well, Teresa, if you're home in bed, right? What you can do is, while I'm on this live stream, use the body doubling from the live stream, right? It's me, you, and 98 people on the live stream. So it's like 100 of us right now. So use the body doubling from the live stream. And if you can get out of bed, if you can, if not, no worries. But if you can get out of bed, take your phone with you and watch the rest of this live stream outside, right? Maybe throw on a hoodie if it's cold or something like that. But watch the rest of this live stream outside and then let us know how you feel. All right. So did I drop the first one in there? Number one. And I'm gonna use my personal life to make these things be relatable. So how to get out of a funk. Do the thing that you've been putting off, okay? Do the thing that you've been putting off. So a lot of us have been putting off certain things, and it's not making us feel any better. So for me personally, I mean, like, I've done my best to be transparent with you all since I've been posting on social media. So I'm not gonna lie. If I'm struggling with something, I'll tell y'all. So number one, I gotta get my car registration taken care of. So if you're watching right now and you know anybody who works with the LAPD, don't snitch on me. But my car registration has not been done since August 2022. So that's September, October, November, December, January. All right, so I'm 5 months late on my car registration, and I'm gonna do it this week. That's what I'm telling y'all. I'm gonna do it this week. But even if I don't get it done this week, any progress that I make towards getting this goal is going to be helpful, right? So if you can't do it all in one day, how can you break it up, right? So if I can't do it all in one day or 1 week, I'm going to book the appointment with the DMV so that way I can either skip the line or I don't have to be in line as long, right? So I'm going to book the appointment with the DMV, which I've already done. So that's good. I hope it wasn't this morning because if so, I would have missed it. But I booked the appointment with the DMV, and then I'm going to have all my information. I'm going to go and I'm going to pay and do what I got to do. I'll check it online. I think y'all saying that you can look at it online. So I'll look over this online and I'll talk to my assistant and get some help with it. But any progress that you can make to get closer towards doing the thing that you've been putting off is going to make you feel much better, right? Because if you're behind and you haven't done the dishes, I think someone said something with the dishes earlier. If you haven't done the dishes, if you're behind on appointments, you're going to feel like you're not making any progress. And you might not be making any progress, like in the grand scheme of things, but maybe you don't have to make a lot of progress. You can just do like a little bit here and there, right? So that's what I plan to do. That's why I can come out here and smile. But there was a time a couple of weeks ago where I was frustrated. I'm like, damn, I got to get my, SHIT done. my nephews and niece, they watch my live stream, so I gotta keep the cussing down. I don't even cuss for real. Lauren says, thank you for helping beat the stigma on mental disorders. I've been dealing with anxiety, depression, bipolar 2 since middle school, and you spreading the word has been helping social media so much. Lauren, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I want to talk so much more about everything, but especially bipolar disorder and especially bipolar 2, because it's kind of like I already made a video where I said that that's the hardest condition for me to diagnose, but it's a very treatable condition, right? And we're human regardless of if we have bipolar or whatever. So I appreciate you, Lauren. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Minnie says, explains why I had so much energy while on vacation. Then here in Ira, I've struggled to leave the house even. And look, if you can leave the house and you can go outside and you can just get a little bit of fresh air and come back in, like we have to make this as simple as possible. Make this as simple as possible. So if you struggle getting out of bed, you get out of bed and you go back into the bed to finish watching whatever you're watching on Paramount Plus. You know, give yourself credit. You gotta give yourself some credit. My dishes, yeah, I had dishes in the sink for like a week and a half. Yeah, yeah. But they're clean now, thankfully. Caitlin, I appreciate you. It's not my therapist. Making doctor's appointments. Oh, sometimes making the appointment can be harder than going to it because you have to go on the website and you have to click the thing. You have to pay your copay, or maybe you pay it when you get there. These things are hard when you're juggling like a million different things, right? I hope. Yeah. Hey. So, Fallon, I hope I don't get pulled over. We'll see if I don't get pulled over. I've been doing my best to not get pulled over, but we'll see. We will see. Good morning from Alberta. How you doing? Hello from Scotland. What's up, Diane? How you doing? I've done it online in California as a small fee. Oh, Jillian. All right, I'm going to give Jillian the first love of the show. So I've never seen Jillian comment on this live stream, but Jillian is now one of my favorite people of the week. Thank you so much. I got to give you a love of the show. I will do my best to get it online, do it online in California. And yeah, I'll pay the fee. I just want to cross it off my to-do list. Mickey Ficky. Micro bravery is a cool concept where you celebrate the small things you get done on your list. It can help you build up for the bigger ones. Yep. Danielle, I agree. And I've been working with CBS and we've been celebrating the small wins. And I was so excited when they came to me with the idea because that's what I literally do with you all here on a daily basis. I try and allow us to celebrate the small things, and you're going to go get momentum to do the big things later on, right? But if you have no momentum and if your attitude is, negative, it's going to be hard to do anything. And it was already hard to do anything in the first place, right? I paid my, but I'm going to small again, so I'm yeah. All right, I can tell you live in California, right? We got to pay and we got to do this smog thing. Yeah, Mickey Ficky. Calling friends and checking. I feel that often. Hey, one thing at a time. One thing at a time. I had dishes in the sink for a few days. I hate doing dishes anyway. I hate. Yeah, dishes are the worst. Dishes are the worst. We could do online here in Tennessee, but I love the driver service and registration, 2 different locations. I like that. I mean, I have a grand master plan to move to Tennessee when it's all said and done. I don't know my voice is that, but when it's all said and done, I'll probably get a small little farm in Tennessee and then split time between Tennessee and LA. And then I'll be able to register my car in time. I'm bipolar. It's a daily choice to choose positivity because it attracts more. You can do it too. Yeah. All right, Danielle, another love of the show. We have to make an active decision to choose positivity. We do. Shoot my ass tomorrow. Is your car registration tomorrow? There's no snitching over here, so I'm not going to tell you. Michelle says, don't be afraid to ask for some help. People actually really want to help and just not sure how. I will call my mom and she loves to come over and help. She's lonely and I need help. Win-win. All right, wow, Michelle, this is one of my favorite comments I've ever seen on here. So you get a double love of the show. So not only for you, but also for your mom. So a double love of the show to Michelle and Michelle's mom, and I'll explain why. My voice is going out. But I love this for a couple of reasons because, first of all, you're asking for help, which is a very difficult thing to do. So you got to give yourself credit for that. And number two, the person that you're asking for help is lonely, your mother, right? And I was just in New York on the Today Show talking about how when you're feeling either anxiety or depression and you do stuff for other people, it helps you out. So now by allowing your mom to help you out, it's helping out your mom and it's helping you as well. And one thing I've noticed with parents and mothers especially is because a lot of times moms are the go-to, right? Like if I need help, I'll still call my mom today. And regardless of if I had a girlfriend at the time, if I need help and I need to talk to somebody, I'm still calling my mom, right? So I'm grown and I still need to call my mom all the time, right? And as a mother, you sometimes feel the need to help everybody else around you, and you forget that you can ask for help as well, right? And Michelle, you see, you're grown, but you're still calling, your mom, because we need our mothers, right? So this is a great comment. I'm happy. I'm happy to read things like this. This is fantastic. I need to ask my mom. Yeah. I need to call my mom and find something to get her to do for me. I'd love to get to Missouri one day. Love to do an event in Missouri. Let me read this real quick. Can you please talk about what steps people can take to overcome fears when it comes to taking a risk in life? I think the fear of failure, so the fear of failure holds a lot of people back, and it's tough, right? And we talk a lot about failure and grief and overcoming things, and we have this concept of rejection sensitive dysphoria, right? Which is something that a lot of people with ADHD may experience, where you have a hard time, hearing the word no, or you have a hard time believing that a failure means that like you're done, right? Sometimes we take failure personally. I'm not sure if I said that right, but sometimes the failure is so much to where we feel like it defines who we are, and it really, really, really hurts, right? But if you can switch and get to the point where you understand, okay, I'm not going to succeed at everything that I do. I might as well try different things. That's going to help you out, And even speaking about being in a funk, if you're in a funk and you try something out and you fail and you keep a positive mindset, that is helping you out. That is helping you out. It's really helping you out. So you got to keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I've been bad in the past with registration because with the anxiety of hiding from the police department too much. My ADHD makes me spacey, but my anxiety is awful. Teresa, I understand. ADHD and anxiety is a hell of a combo, right? It's a hell of a combo. But that's why I enjoy making content so much, because if I can show that people who have ADHD and anxiety are doing their thing, then it can help to inspire you. Matthew, I appreciate you, my guy. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let me read this real quick. Tips for getting my daughter motivated with her mental health for school. We've done inpatient, outpatient, and always circles back to school refusal. All right, so it might sound backwards, but how can we make school fun for your daughter, right? Or how can we make certain parts of school fun? If she enjoys one class, we have to make that one class like the Super Bowl, right? If she enjoys third period has to be the highlight of her day. We have to prep her for it, prep her afterwards. She still has to be accountable and do her schoolwork. But if we can simplify it and get to the root as to why she doesn't like school, maybe we won't solve the whole problem, but we could be moving in the right direction. All right. And the second tip for getting out of a funk is number 2, to cut out something, right? We have to, everything good comes at a cost, right? Everything that's good is going to come at a cost. There's no way that we can do everything, but we can do anything. So if you're in a funk, you may be carrying somebody else's burdens, or you may be having a lot of things going on, and half of those things don't benefit you at all. There's nothing wrong with being selfish and saying, hey, I'm a professional golfer and I want to work on my golf game. So I'm going to stop spending 3-4 hours a week playing basketball with my friends so I can focus on the main thing, right? Or just depending on what's going on for you. Sometimes we have to prioritize and really lock in on the main things, the most important things, and that's going to come at a cost, right? Or if you have negative people in your environment, right, and you're holding on to them because of familiarity, cut them off, spend a little less time with them, right? But more than likely, there's something that we're all doing that's not helping us out. But for some reason, we just keep doing it, and maybe we're doing it because we're going through the motions, or we're doing it out of habit, right? But we have to cut out certain things, right? It's going to make us feel better. So, I think for myself, what do I have to cut out? I've cut out a lot. I've cut out a lot, and sometimes it almost does make you a little lonely because I just don't go out, like I don't have any interest in, going to go drink with the boys or chase girls or like I'm locked in. I'm focused on my business and making videos and things like that. And if I need free time, I'll play video games with my little brothers on the PlayStation. But I did have to cut out certain things to get to where I am and to help me get to where I'm trying to go, right? So in the comment section, actually, let me know what you're cutting out. Let me know what you're cutting out. Let me see what Kayla's saying. It's my first time commenting. Can overthinking be tied to being in a funk? So I'm doing great and have stuck to everything I need to do, but my mind gets stuck in these spurts, overthinking everything, especially relationship fears. I do think that there's a link between overthinking and being in a funk, right? Because when you're in a funk, you're not doing a lot of action, so you're thinking more than you're doing, right? So if we can reverse that, or if we can think a little less, still think, right? But if we can do a little bit more, it's going to help us out, right? So if you have relationship fears, talk about these things with your partner or take actionable steps to getting towards the root of the issue. But if you're sitting there and you're thinking about what could be happening, you may be creating a world for yourself that isn't real. So hopefully that brings some value to you, Kayla. All right, let me see what we can all cut out. So Ardrea says she would like to cut out constantly overthinking. Okay. I like that. I need this right now. Autumn, I appreciate you. I need your comments as well to help me get this live stream going. Your videos keep me going. I take on many types of secondhand trauma at work and watch your videos to remind me I'm also human and I need to take care of myself as well. Yeah, look, a lot of times we take on people's burdens and we don't have to do that, right? We can be there to support them and be a listening ear for them, but we don't have to try and control their life too, right? This is something that I used to struggle with a lot, especially while dating. I would try and figure out and this is before I was even like a therapist, but I felt like the need to try and solve my problems, solve her problems, solve my parents' problems, solve my little brother's problems, and it got to a point where I'm like, all right, I'm just burnt out. I don't want to solve my own problems at this point, right? So sometimes focusing on what we can do for ourselves will help make us better people for other people. All right, let me see. Cutting out scrolling on social. Yeah. This is something that I've struggled with as well, and I do my best to make sure that when I'm on social media, every now and then, I'll watch for fun. But I want to consume to be inspired to make my own videos, right? But it's hard to sometimes not scroll for hours and hours. Cutting out people who don't match your effort. Caitlin, I like this a lot. If you follow Caitlin's advice, it's going to be very hard to be stuck in a relationship or a business partnership or any type of friendship with people who don't, reciprocate your energy because you're constantly mindful of the energy that you're putting in and you're seeing if it's matching what they're putting in. And as you cut them off and use boundaries, it might suck because you might lose a couple of friends, but you're going to feel better in the end. I cut out friends who were trying to be there, especially when I found out that they were spreading rumors and starting drama. Life has been for the better since. All right, so even though Leilani is the moderator, I still have to give her a love of the show for this. This is key because, and I used to have like acquaintances or friends who would come and tell me, "Oh, so and so did this or this person did that." I don't have time to keep up with what Ashley did in Louisville, Kentucky. I mean, like I hope she's okay, but I don't really care at the moment. But I hope people, like I don't want to know drama and gossip, and like I need to be thinking about things that are gonna, uplift me, uplift my soul, help me out, help my people. But I don't really care for drama or gossip. Or I mean, if somebody's going through a hard time, I don't want to laugh about that person struggling with you. So I mean, hey, but I don't judge people who gossip, but I just don't want to like I could I could care less about engaging into that type of discourse. I don't think it's healthy, right? I overthink about everything. I have ADHD, epilepsy. Well, Amber, like I said a little bit earlier, I can't give you medical advice, but maybe a little less thinking and more doing, right? Just a little less thinking, a little bit more doing. And Kristen, yeah, when you gossip and you spread rumors about people, you're just losing time. It's a lose-lose. You're really hurting yourself, right? You're really hurting yourself. Let me see this real quick. So, Maddie, I can't legally answer medication questions. They won't allow me to do this. But I just want to say something real quick. So, when your doctor prescribes you things like serotonin and Seroquel, quetiapine, and Zoloft, right? You can go online, and sometimes we do this where our doctors will give us a medication, and you'll Google and say, "All right, what's this medication for?" Right? And then you'll pull up online. It'll say, "Oh, this medication is for bipolar," or "This medication is for schizophrenia." And sometimes because of that, you'll try not to take the meds. So first of all, I have to say that I can't tell you to take certain meds because legally I can't do that. But I always say that if your doctors prescribe you some medications, please take them exactly as prescribed, right? And do not stop taking the medication unless your doctor or provider has told you. That's what I have to legally tell you. But things like um, serotonin, I'm not sure maybe you mean SSRI. Is that what you mean in the first sentence? But Zoloft, right? But things like Zoloft, we can use it for anxiety, right? Even though it's an antidepressant. Seroquel, we can use Seroquel to help people sleep sometimes, right? We can use Seroquel for sometimes I've used Seroquel for patients who had depression as like an add-on, right? Even though normally we do use it for bipolar and schizophrenia disorder. So you are correct, but just be careful. Be careful when you start to Google things because the internet can be a scary place, right? So if you have questions and you don't talk to your doctor about it, you might start Googling it. And the internet might start telling you all these scary things, and you might get like super scared. So just be a little, just be cautious, right? Just be cautious. Then they're not the right people. Your tribes out there are true. Yeah, Daniel, I agree. We have to find our people, but people that want to gossip and tear people down, those aren't our. Those are our people. Uh, Let me see. Oh, actually, I appreciate you. Yeah, I love doing this. I appreciate you. Mostly people you don't know, just watching your wheels turn the process. Yeah, I appreciate it. I like it. Like I love doing the live stream where I'm getting all these comments. Like, keep in mind, I tell people all the time, like I still have ADHD, so like when I get all this stimuli, like this is like the gasoline that I need to like it fuels me to keep going. So I do like this. Walmart delivery free trial is free. I work there; it's worth it. The monthly fee is not that. So can see I might look into this right here, and this could be helpful for people who are stuck at home, who don't have the energy to get out and go about doing things. This is clutch right here. Michelle says, if you don't have a mom that can help, ask a friend. I'm a mom too, and I would move a mountain to help a friend in need. Plus, I get to see my friend too. I do anything for my kids too. We all need help at times and are able to help others at times too. A double love of the show. So I guess it's like a triple love of the show. But yeah, I always wonder how, the go-to people in, their lives, like mothers and parents and fathers, how they take care of themselves, right? But if you're somebody who you're the go-to person in your life, right? And you care about everybody else and you're always going to short end of the stick, if you can put yourself in positions to where people are helping you out, it's going to give you energy to once again do for yourself and then continue helping out other people. It's kind of like a cycle. Let me see. Jacqueline, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I appreciate your attention and the people who come out here, all the time, and watch the live streams. Real quick, let me say something about this. If you are bipolar, you are susceptible to get schizophrenia. So JC, so, so we have this condition called schizoaffective disorder where you may have elements of both, right? But between bipolar and schizophrenia, normally, at least in my experience, most people get schizophrenia. Schizophrenia kind of comes earlier when it comes for males, and then for females is a bit later. Whereas people with bipolar disorder sometimes get diagnosed in their 20s, 30s, but it depends. There's no like one size fits all. All right. Grocery delivery games. It is. I use Instacart, but I may have to look into the Walmart one. All right. So the third tip right before the water break is. And I don't know. My voice is out. I was watching football all day, and I'm not a Bengals or Eagles fan, but I was still screaming at the TV just because. All right, so the third tip to get out of a funk is Lauren from Georgia. How you doing? The third tip to get out of a funk is you want to give yourself credit for any progress, right? So if you're in a funk and you all right, so let's take let me see the person who commented from Utah and they were struggling with seasonal depression and they're still stuck in a bed, right? So it's 10 o'clock in Utah, right? Let's say it's 10 o'clock in Utah and you're stuck in a bed because you're feeling like you have seasonal depression or you have seasonal depression, right? And you're watching the live stream from the bed and you would like to be productive today, but you haven't been productive in a couple of weeks and you already feel like today is going to be a day where you don't get anything done, right? If you realize that this morning, oh, before I got back into the bed, I did wake up, I used the restroom, and I brushed my teeth, and I got back in the bed. As you're sitting there in the bed watching Netflix, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Amazon Prime, whatever, you can tell yourself, oh my goodness, wow, I'm not lazy. I did get out of the bed and I brushed my teeth. I brushed my teeth and I got back in the bed. So I have to give myself a little bit of progress, a credit for the progress. And then when you do that, you say, okay, all right, well, maybe I want to try to, maybe I'll take a shower. Maybe I'll take a shower. And then maybe a couple hours later, you take a shower. And then you say, all right, you know what? I'm going to try and go for a walk in my neighborhood, just a small walk. I'm just going to go for a walk, circle the block around once, right? And you go for a walk and it's too cold, so you come back in the house after 5 minutes. All right, you didn't complete your walk, but on this particular day, what did you do? You woke up, you brushed your teeth, you got back in the bed, then you took a shower, then you got back in the bed, then you went and you took a walk or you attempted to take a walk, right? You did three things that are very difficult or three things that you were not able to do last week, yesterday, 2 weeks ago. So you have to give yourself credit. Just like Jacqueline says, progress, not perfection. Because if the goal is to be perfect, you're probably dealing with a lot of anxiety. Yeah, that's my guess right now. I'm not. I don't have a crystal ball, but if you're somebody who you aim for perfection in everything you do, you're setting yourself up for a lot of anxiety. You know. Let me see what Amber says. It drives me crazy. People be like, relax. If I could, I would. My anxiety gets so bad, I throw up a lot. Well, Amber, you could be trying to be a little bit too perfect, but I'm looking at your picture right now. You have looks like what was like maybe a child or maybe you're onto somebody. You're doing the best that you can. You have to give yourself credit, right? And I tell myself this all the time because every now and then my brain will trick me into telling me that I'm not doing anything. And this is just the truth, right? My brain will say, you're lazy. And I'm like, I was just on the Today Show and I'm playing video games. Like, am I lazy because I play video games all weekend? No, I just want to relax and play video games, right? But sometimes our brain will tell us crazy things, and we have to like fight back and say, no, like that's not the truth, you know? I try to give myself grace, but I know and been told I'm my toughest critic. I just feel like I should have done so much more throughout the day. It takes me a long time to start a task. All right, so right before we get to the water break, let me say this, right? So if you're watching my live stream, we have to redefine productivity. Please, please, please. So not just Jacqueline, yes, you can draw a portrait of me and you can send it to the business address in Studio City. But if you feel like you're not getting enough throughout the day, if you feel like you're not doing enough throughout the day, understand that we have to redefine productivity, right? So it's 9 o'clock here in California, right? And if the only thing that I do today, what's the most priority thing today? Today, I have to look through my daily report and make sure that all my employees have what they need and I'm organized. All right. So if I organize myself today, but I don't post a single video, it's a productive day, right? So it may take me an hour and a half to organize myself, right? And it may take me an hour and a half to work out. So at 1 o'clock p.m., I could be done with my whole day, and I will call it a productive day. But if I'm judging myself based off of the old way I used to judge myself, then I might be playing video games at 5 or 6 p.m. And then my brain is telling me, oh, you're lazy. You didn't do enough today. Why are you playing video games? You stop working at 1 o'clock, right? So we have to redefine what productivity means to us, right? You know, and just like Tatiana says, it takes me a long time to start a task. So I know what you mean because I have ADHD and it takes me forever to start something. But once I start it, I can normally follow through with it, right? So if you have a hard time starting something, if you can start that task and get like 20% done, and then you stop it, that's been a productive day. That's a really, really, really good day. That's a really good day. And yes, I do feel like I'm fighting against myself sometimes. That's why I have to surround myself with people who uplift me. And sometimes I have to get more sleep. I gotta spend more time in the gym. I have to call my mom. I have to, uplift other people. Because by helping people out, it makes you feel better. Like just by me getting on the live stream and making videos, that does wonders, for my anxiety. I feel so much. I feel like a rock star when I get off of this live stream, right? So sometimes you do feel like you're fighting against yourself, but you have to take it one thing at a time, right? One thing at a time. That's your daughter. Oh, that's awesome. Y'all look super cool in the picture. I see you got your shades on. You're smiling. And Brooke, well, if you can't stop a task until it's finished, I can't give 20% on nothing. So, Brooke, I'm the same way, right? So, and this is an ADHD thing as well, where if you start something, I gotta do the whole damn thing. Because if I start and I get to 20%, my brain will not shut off. It'll tell me that I have to write the last 80%. So what you could do is you could make it easy. You could break the task into 4 different parts, right? Where you get 25% done on each day or in different, blocks of time. So that way you finish the first task, you cross off your list, and you feel better. You get the next day, you finish the next task, you cross it off, you feel better. Then you make it to the third day, and the hyperfocus may kick in, and you have the energy to do all of it. Boom, great. And now we did it in 3 days, as opposed to doing it half in one day. You get burnt out, and then you wait until 3 weeks, and you pick it up again, and you finish the rest, right? So you got to pace yourself, right? These are the small things that medications may not do that could change your life. So hopefully the right person saw that. All right, and water break. Somebody drop in the magic word, and then we'll get to the water break. And then I saw a comment here. Since I lost my brother in my career, it's hard to get out of bed. You will get through it. Becky, I want to say, so sorry for your loss. Your brother and your career. It's really difficult with grief to sometimes know where things are going. Because sometimes grief is like, it just seems like it never ends. Like, there's no time. Nobody understands grief. I promise you, the smartest psychologist or psychiatrist in the world does not understand grief, regardless of whatever we put in that DSM-5 over there, right? Nobody understands grief. So, I'm rooting for you. And just the fact that you're on here and you're on Facebook Live and you're encouraging people. I mean, look at this. This is the beauty of like the live stream. Sometimes I get goosebumps just thinking about this. Like, you lost your brother and your career, and you've had a hard time getting out of bed, and you're on here encouraging other people. Like, that's a beautiful thing. So, I love the show to you, and my heart goes out to you. But I'm also confident that you will also get through this. I'm inspired by your comment, Ms. Becky. All right. Okay. All right. We got the magic word in here. Cheers. Cheers, cheers, and cheers. All right, the magic word is cheers. It gives us a chance to drink some water. I actually have been drinking some water today, but normally I don't. So I'm going to go ahead and get some water and cheers, y'all. It's going to allow us to, or allow me to, like, how you keep all these extra bottles there, and go recycle these now because I'm through with it. All right, let me get some the comments. Hey, Ellen, what's going on? I remember you from TikTok, Jax TYN. It's funny how sometimes you remember the usernames more than the name. I never knew your name was Ellen. That's cool though. I will be on TikTok live this week, so I'll see you again. But I'm happy that you came over. We gotta get more people on TikTok to come over, and also I will be on TikTok, from time to time. All right, somebody asked a question here. Let me see what the question was. You said Heather. All right. I was diagnosed with schizophrenia over a year ago. I was also on drugs at the time. Now that I'm sober, I feel I no longer have it. Could it just have been drug induced, or is it something I always have? I always have BPD, ADHD, depression, anxiety, and a few other things. Could those mental health problems cause schizophrenia as well? All right, so real quick, let me answer this. To my knowledge, schizophrenia is not caused by any one of those things, not BPD, ADHD, depression, none of those cause schizophrenia. It's something that a big primary cause of it is genetic, and there are not as many people who have schizophrenia as we believe. In the U.S., only 1% of the population has schizophrenia. And once again, I don't know what hospital you went to, and I don't know what doctors or providers treated you, so that's that. But if somebody, just giving y'all like a fake situation, if somebody comes into the hospital, right, and let's say I'm back in Virginia, and somebody came into the hospital, and we thought that they had schizophrenia, right, but then you're looking at their records, and they've done like all these drugs and just all kinds of drugs, right? If they've been doing drugs, then we can't really call it schizophrenia. We call it like substance-induced psychosis, and then we would write it out and then see if the psychosis came from the schizophrenia or if it came from the drugs, right? If it came from the substances, then there's a good chance that once you're sober, you may no longer have to be taking Haldol, Risperdal, whatever they're giving you. But if the schizophrenia came before the drugs, right? Or if the psychosis came before the substances, then there's a good chance that maybe you do indeed have schizophrenia or some form of a thought disorder. And I've made some videos about this, but there's been a lot of new followers in the past couple of months. So that makes me excited because it'll give me a chance to go through the basics, once again. So I'm looking forward to going through the basics again, and also, of course, making the skits. But we have a lot of basics to review over here. We got a lot to review. I do want to say this. So, Hope, this is one of the best things that I've ever done. If you are able to hire a cleaner, this will change your life. Like, I first had a cleaner back in Virginia when I was doing forensic psychiatry, and she changed my life. Oh my gosh, like I still miss her. I still think about her from time to time, in like a weird, non creepy way. But sometimes I just think to myself, I'm like, man, I hope Sarah's having a good day. I hope she's having a good day. Cleaners make, man, oh my gosh, and earlier in the live stream, I said that I'd had dishes in the sink for like a week and a half. I was busy. I was trying to run my business, and my cleaner came, and the housekeeper came and helped me out. And I mean, I do my best to like, leave a tip or, whatever. But like, what I really want to do is after they clean my area, I want to like just give them a big old hug and just like carry them in the air because a cleaner will change your life. A cleaner will change your life. All right, let me answer. Let me answer at least this question here. Can you please explain bipolar disorder with psychosis? All right, so JC, check it out. So with bipolar disorder, you don't automatically have psychosis, right? But some people. So with bipolar 2, if you have bipolar 2 disorder, you will never have psychosis within a manic episode, because if you have bipolar 2, you don't have a manic episode, you have a hypomanic episode. It's like a baby mania. But during the depressed phase of bipolar disorder, you could have psychosis in the middle of a depressive episode. So a lot of folks don't know that, right? But JC, what you're asking, more than likely, when you say bipolar disorder with psychosis, normally it's bipolar 1 disorder with psychotic features. That's probably what you're talking about. And that's when somebody comes in and they have bipolar disorder, right? And more than likely, there's a manic episode that we found, which is what brought you into the hospital. And in the middle of the manic episode, you may have psychotic features, right? Like you may hear things, right? You might be hearing things that you're not sure if other people are hearing it. You might be seeing things that you're not sure if other people can see it. Your thoughts may not really match up with your words, right? Because schizophrenia, right, is a thought disorder, right? Your thoughts are not. You're having a hard time processing your thoughts. People think schizophrenia is like, ooh, creepy. No, it's a thought disorder, right? You're struggling with your thoughts, right? That's why the antipsychotics help to clear your thoughts, right? So that's bipolar disorder with psychosis. I'm trying to explain it in like a simple way. I don't want to overcomplicate it and make it hard, because I know in school it took me years to learn what this stuff was. But yeah, so normally psychosis happens in the manic phase of bipolar disorder. Every now and then it can happen in the depressed phase, but that might be a little too complicated. But I hope y'all are following me. Let me see. Can intrusive thoughts be caused by OCD? Marie, a lot of times intrusive thoughts are caused by OCD. Y'all are on fire with these questions, by the way. These questions give me life. ADD plus ADHD can be superpower. You can take advantage. All right, so Daniel, I will say this. For me personally, I'm able to get to a point where I look at my ADHD, ADD as a superpower because sometimes it helps me a lot. I can take risks in business, or I can try different things, or I can make a lot of videos. But sometimes it can also limit me. So it can be a superpower for me, but I don't know if I can call it a superpower for everybody because some people ADHD will shut them down, and it's hard to it's hard to call it a superpower when it's costing you a lot of money, it's messing with your self esteem, is ruining your relationships, is ruining your marriage. Then it's hard to look at ADHD as a superpower. But if you can get to the point where you can cognitively reframe and you can look at it as a superpower, then more power to you. Sometimes I do that, but at the same time, I realize that some people ADHD is like it's really messing up people's lives, right? So it's like two sides to a coin, right? It's two sides to a coin. All right. Vanessa, I appreciate you, and that's why I'm here for you all online. I want to do my best to teach you all, and I want to make it fun too, right? Like I keep thinking back to myself, like maybe when I was in school, if the psychiatrists who were teaching me, and they didn't have time to make videos, so I mean they did the best that they could. But if they were teaching me by doing like a dance or a skit, I think I would learn faster. But all right. I found Snoop Doggyland affirmation sound, and I probably admit I've listened to it a handful of times without my children present or doing without me. So, Leilani, let me say this before we end. I saw the video and I was like, this is kind of cheesy, but I let the video right out, and I did play it twice. So music is super catchy. It makes me want to make more raps. Like I do co-sign Snoop Dogg's Doggyland affirmation song. I like it. I like it. And Jacqueline says, page 102 in the workbook. Let me see what Jacqueline talking about. 102. Yeah. Love the show to Jacqueline. Yeah. Love the show right here. Shaking out of a funk. Yep. We have this here in the book. Shaking out of a funk. Let me see. Amy, I agree with this. I do agree with this. It's hard to reframe and have a positive outlook. Murray, it is hard, right? But that's why we have to put the work in. Sometimes you can't just wake up and reframe. You have to hang around people who keep saying, "Oh, Marie, I like you, Marie." Oh, Marie, you're super cool. Marie, oh, Marie, I get to see you today. Marie, thank you for being born. When you hang around people who make you feel good, then all of a sudden, Marie, you can wake up and be like, "Dang, I think I do like myself," right? So sometimes we have to build up until we can get there, right? All right, 47. All right. Okay. All right. So I do have to get going, y'all, but we will be back on the live stream. Be back on the live stream tomorrow at 6:00 p.m. my time, 9:00 on the East Coast. We're gonna be on the live stream, so I'm looking forward to doing that. Let me I'll answer this question real quick, and then I'll get off. But tomorrow at 6 p.m. California time, we'll be back for the late night show. But let me answer this question real quick. How do I figure out how to make time for everything between my 2-year-old, work, chores, and everything else, instead of time for self-care, because it's always what's on the back burner without it? It's hard to function, and without being able to function, how do I get it all done? All right, so Jackie, check it out. You got a 2-year-old, work, chores, and everything else, and you said to make time for self-care. So check this out. If you don't take a break for yourself, what will happen at some point is that your body will just shut down. We only have one body, right? If you're not getting enough sleep and not having proper nutrition, at some point, your body will shut down. And when you shut down, everything else falls with you, right? You got a 2-year-old depending on you. You got people at work depending on you. Chores got to get done. And then you also have you depending on you, right? So that's why, like the tips that we had today, make it super simple. Number one, do the thing that you've been putting off, or get some traction towards getting that thing done. There's probably one thing that's really, really like messing you up right now mentally because you haven't done that thing. If you can knock that out, if you can get close to knocking it out, it will help you out. Number two, you have to cut out something, Jackie. Don't cut off your 2-year-old. Don't do that. Don't cut off work because you got to work, right? And chores, you can't cut that off. Maybe you can outsource it, but you can't cut it off. And everything else. So within that everything else category, right? We have to figure out what's that everything else, right? Do you have like an hour and a half in your day where you can get some time to either do something for yourself or take a small nap, right? But that everything else category is what we have to look at, right? Because the 2-year-old, you gotta be there for your 2-year-old. You gotta be there for work, right? Maybe at work you can set boundaries so you can get off work at a decent time, right? And the chores, maybe we can do one room at a time. But I would try and figure out what can you cut out, something small. What can you cut out, something small? And as I'm talking to you, I'm thinking to myself as well. Like I do a time audit like quarterly, and I think to myself, where am I wasting time? Sometimes I'll think to myself that I'm so busy, and I'll catch myself either like playing the Switch or playing a game. That's what get me caught up, playing a game or scrolling on TikTok for hours. And I'm like, oh, hold up. If I scrolled for 15 minutes instead of an hour and a half, I'd get a little bit more time, right? And of course, the last tip I had: give yourself credit for any progress. So, Jackie, just the fact that you woke up today and you saw the live stream and you commented on a Facebook video, how do I figure out how to make time for everything? It means that you want to improve. So you have to give yourself credit, because before you can do something, you have to have the thought that precedes the action. So you're like, all right, I want to get better. So I'm going to post this question here on Facebook. So you have to give yourself some credit. So you are moving in the right direction. And the last thing that I'll say, and it wasn't a tip for how to get out of a funk, but it is important. Don't try and get it all back in one day. Today is Monday, right? The week just started. You will not figure everything out today, and you don't have to. And if you can make peace with that, it'll make you feel a lot better, right? Now, if there was a magic pill that I could give you, and then you would no longer be overwhelmed and you would have time for everything else, of course I would do that, right? But that's not practical. It's not life, right? So understand that you will not fix this problem today. You may not fix it this week. You may not fix it in February, right? But if we're sitting here February 23rd, right? And you're spending like an hour and a half more with your 2-year-old, right? And the chores no longer frustrate you as much, and you have a little bit of time for self-care where you're able to go and hang out with your friends or do things that you enjoy doing, then you're going to call it a success, right? So we don't have to get it all back in one day. We don't have to get it all back in 1 week. We don't have to get it all back in 1 month, right? But any progress that you make, like, you're going to build off of it, right? One by one. And before you know it, February 23rd, actually, Jackie, I would love it if you came back on February 23rd and give us an update, and if you do that, it's going to make me feel good, because then I'm like, all right, Jackie came in on January 23rd, needed some help. A month later, this is all the progress that they've made, right? So that's going to make me feel better. So I'm counting on you, and I extended the live stream because I have a feeling that you will not let us down, right? You're going to make us proud. So one thing at a time. Don't judge yourself. You're already doing a really, really good job. A 2-year-old is really, really difficult. But having a toddler and you have to work, that's tough. That's tough right there, like, and I'm just an uncle, I'll be there with the nephews and nieces, and after I can give them back. You're a whole parent. That's very difficult. You have to give yourself a lot of credit, So with that being said, I'm proud of the direction that you're headed in. Let's take it one day at a time. Let's not try and get it back all in one day. Let's take it one day at a time, right? So February 23rd, we will see what the update is, and I'll hold you to it. And I mean, it's not like you have to get it done, but any progress that you make, is going to be helpful, right? And then you can turn it into a game, make it a game, right? You got to come back in a month and report to us. And then maybe something that you learn can be something that you come back and let us know, and that I can use it to help me out in my life, right? So we have to help out each other. So, that's what we're all here for. So make alliance with Appear Mommy. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. So, all right, y'all. It's time to get going. Let's all have a fantastic day. Let's have a productive day. You don't have to get 30 things done, but if you can do a couple of things here and there, we'll call that a productive day, and then we'll move on to Tuesday. So until next time, see y'all later. Love y'all.